Hi folks, welcome live to round 7 of the Thrones World Cup 2024. We have one group that still has games remaining. It's Group Song here. And so the rest of the tournament, so for groups Fire and Ice, it's over for the group stage. We have 5 teams that have qualified from those groups, but we still need 3 from Group Song. And as you can see here, the bottom 3 teams are out now. Poland, Chile and Scotland are too far away. Scotland actually has, if they had another game they could catch up in theory, but they don't, so they are out. But China, Austria and Germany and Greece are still fighting, and only China is actually theoretically guaranteed to make it through from those teams. And the big match actually, so China plays against Poland and Germany plays against Chile. They would be, I guess it's fair to say, favorite to win those games. But Austria and Greece, so you can't see the points here, but if we transform this into points, basically China is on top with 20, Austria has 17, Germany 16 and Greece 15, and you get 2 points for a draw, 5 for a win, which means Greece needs to beat Austria to make it through and push Austria out, assuming that Germany wins their game. There's some other combinations if this is drawn and Germany loses and stuff like that, but I think mainly should come down to Austria and Greece, and we are going to watch their first game. So let me just make sure that they have not started already. Okay, so game is open, but not quite. I can show you the calendar. For today we have this one planned, so 5 p.m. means 7 my time in Central Europe. It's going to be Alex playing Tyrell Whitebook against Werner playing Night's Watch Kraken. By the way, Saraaa is here with me, right?
Hello.
I'm not showing you actually stuff on screen, sorry about that. Here we are, this is the schedule, and this is the standings that I just talked about. So China, Austria, Germany, Greece in the first 4 places. And we can show you the decks before the game starts properly. So it's Tyrell Whitebook for Greece, and do we have anything weird? We have something slightly unusual here. We have actually 2 copies of Tourney for the King. Mainly they are happy with 1 copy, so this one has 2 chances to close. And plays Duheris and Morgulis, so 2 resets, which is unusual. And no white swords because the restricted card is Boros. So I guess it's apart from Nikos, which is a completely different deck for Germany, it's one of the more unique white books here, opting for Boros. And yes, if you have Boros, you can really spam the knights on tourney. You can really get from a fairly low number to high number in terms of knights in play, and of course power gained if they go all in the same challenge. And of course the Tyrell icon, right? Red Wine Straits, the Arbor, Bounty. It's very difficult to choke, but no white swords, which can just put a 7 coster or something into play, gets around some of the knights which choke. And the reason we talk about that is this, of course, the Night's Watch banner of the Kraken with 3 Botley crews here with presumably Klydas. Yes, there we are, 3 copies. Have the Bloody Cubs, the Mutinies, we have white 3, March to the Wall. So quite tricky, and political disaster on both sides. So Tyrell basically is prepared not to go wide with locations, so yes, political disaster won't choke it that hard. But Morgulis and yeah, just trying to limit the number of knights. But if suddenly the Arbor or Red Wine Straits or both of them are in play, and then you have Boros through Shadows, I wonder. We're going to see how it goes. So what are you thinking, Saraaa? Any predictions? We can't hear you, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, the one thing that's different in Werner's deck, I think, from the one that Stefan played, he plays the new guy, Garrett, and I wonder, here is a deck that does use the faction card a lot, so, and also 2 omens in their blood deck, right? So it will be interesting to see if that guy does something.
Yeah, kneeling the agenda for white book. Do we have Marjorie in the deck to do offensive challenges? I don't think we do, right? Not going to switch now, so for those that remembered, you know more than I do. So we have red wine straits in play already, and it's duped, which makes a difference for Night Flyer. You can't play nothing burns on it because it's limited, so it's very safe, and this is a source of econ now for a while, and I think it's a good start here for Tyrell.
Yeah, and the decks that play Boros and something like that, a lot of shadow triggers. Old Town Other is actually amazing card, I think.
Yeah,
Finds a lot of answers.
that's a little more dodgy, right? To keep that in play, that could go.
Yeah, you need to protect it against nothing burns in some way, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. But that's a solid start here.
Yeah, let's assume that Alex will be able to probably defend against Bloody Cup if 2 gold is left. Now, defending against Mutiny is more difficult, just basically nothing you can do if it gets played. And then you play that on duped characters, go into Mugulis, see what happens. There are uniques, of course, that you don't want killed in Tyrell.
Yeah, and here there's not the trick that you play white swords into Murgulis to get a dupe back, right?
Yeah, not going to happen. Okay, Muru. Not that great, because Undercity can trigger in multiple phases passively. You can kneel Muru to cancel one of those triggers, but it's not as efficient as, for instance, just getting an underground vault on the opponent's side or something like that, that actually chokes.
Yeah, but it's good to have power icons, I think, for the Night's Watch deck, because there's not that many of them.
And 4 gold left, so
And
that's 2 Bloody Cups potentially. Doesn't play 3, by the way, in the deck, only 2 are in the deck.
so, Zoro the Fat, is there any of those events that take Iron Bank will have its due in the White Book deck
Well,
that could
I don't have a second screen, so I can't check anymore, unless I have them printed.
wait, I'll look. I didn't remember when you were looking at the White Book deck.
So Alex passes in the meantime, doesn't want to give cards away. He's just going to defend against Bloody Cup. He's going to give them away on defense for sure now.
Yeah, there are 3 copies of Iron Bank will have its due, which also, by the way, uses the faction card, and I guess Zolo would interfere with that, right?
Yes, if you gain gold, you could... Zolo could intercept it, sack himself. That's most likely going to happen in challenges. Possibly could happen in marshalling at some point. Okay, so we have stuff coming in. What's the plan here? Because Alex has passed, and okay, Balerion comes in, but Osmond triggers for Mark, and Mark now is not going to replace himself, right? If Werner passes here.
Yeah.
So that seems like just a waste of...
Yeah, I think he needed to wait for the challenge to actually be initiated. Maybe he misread the action window.
Or maybe Werner decided, because Mark came in, not to do anything, because there was late summer fist revealed, and he could have just attacked into it to get more cards, and then decided not to.
So there's that Nothing burns played.
Oof. Okay. It takes a lot of gold to Night Flyer the Arbor away.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, if the choke
Barely
doesn't
enough.
hold, if the choke doesn't work, then Nightwatch can't win this because they struggle with power icons. They're not going to dominate the board. I mean, they can mutiny and try to get a good Morgulis. That's their hope then, I guess.
So he does take now the gold that Alex saved, and I think the only thing that he can do out of shadows for 0 gold is that unexpected guile, which he has 3 copies of, but he can't bring one out of shadows that has the shadow keyword, and he can do the other one as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shadow character in play at the moment.
Yeah.
I think he is prepared to just waste another round not doing anything. Shadow on the other side could be Night Flyer. There's also, I think, Tether Salt and Nighttime Marauders.
And is there old Bill Bone?
It's possible. Duptaimon and Balerion cannot be killed, so, and Weimar is there to discard a card, so it's not the worst Morgulis. And you've taken the Undercity away, which was a source of draw for White Book. So maybe there's a chance
If
here.
you manage to play maybe Mutiny and Jamie, that would be then.
But here's the problem, right? All the characters are extremely weak on the board itself, so Jamie's just going to defend and stand to defend military as well. It's nothing that can really be pushed through.
Doesn't get a renown on the defense, right? So just on the attack.
Yeah. Well, you can attack military with 4, for instance, yeah, which forces 2 defenders, and then you would have 5 for power. I mean, seems like both can be defended by Tyrell anyway. I wonder if Alex might regret getting rid of Mark earlier.
If you do this challenge with this Weimar Royce, he has 3, right? So you're winning dominance actually.
Well, spending resources just to win power and win dominance. I mean, it keeps him ahead 2-0, but yeah, having a number of knights in play like this, I mean, if you're going to close, sure, but Morgulis is happening sooner rather than later, I think.
He's almost forced into Morgulis because with Tourney, that's honestly getting dangerous already.
Yeah, but power is on characters though, if you can defend it. I mean, there's no compelled. If you can defend it, you can always Morgulis them away. It's all non-uniques as well and unduped, except for Jamie. Yeah, but 5 in play, and honestly, when Boros starts going, he can bring a couple more.
Chance for Nightwatch Kraken. There's Morgulis. Okay, so he plays the father. Throws the father into Morgulis.
Alex goes first on purpose. Okay, so he's for sure not getting Arbor Night Flyer or anything like that, so he can play out everything, let's assume, but this is going to be, so he would need to get 13 more power. He has 5 knights, can he get 8 more? Some stand here.
Mhm.
Well, dupes help. And remember, he has 2 turnies, so if he plays 1 turn, he forces Morgulis and then repopulates and plays the other tourney. That's the thing this deck can do pretty well. And yeah, the two gold choked away. So what
That's
could...
just enough to still have Boros.
Yeah. Boros or could be a pinch in shadows, right?
Yeah, unexpected guile maybe.
Hmm. Hagen's
Just
daughter, another savable character. So Nighttime Marauders, possibly a shadow card. At the moment can only choose 2, 3 and 4. 2 honestly is not too bad if there's another bounty going around, but this round if there was it would have been played, I think. Or maybe not. So, do we go for the full power gain that's possible here? Or do we not? At the moment there's enough for Jamie to just win this one, if nothing comes in.
Did I miss something?
It's Botley Crew. There is the goal to play Botley Crew, but honestly that immediate choke has kind of failed now. Has to Morgulisen try the second round of choke if he can, I think. Ooh, and he passes, so nothing's going to be gained. And now the pressure to even Morgulis isn't really there.
Well, now Nightwatch has to just pass, and that was a bit of a potential waste. Why not just do challenges here? Can at least do power, right?
I mean, there's nothing on the faction card. Okay, so he sees no power icons, but Jamie's ability, you can get this on defense. Now both of the duped ones will have power on them.
Yeah, but really, this would have been the case without turning revealed anyway.
Ooh, finds a mutiny. So father one, mutiny another.
Yeah, seems like that's the plan.
It is obnoxious because there's no. I mean, Knights shouldn't be winning this from here, but if they can just clear the dupes like that.
Yeah. Why is the underground vault standing anyway?
Good question. Looks like he forgot about it. Now, do you want to attack into anything else? Actually, by the way, it's all knights, right? So can't mutiny them this round.
Oh yeah, that's true. So that's for the whole round.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, just have Peter saying that in chat as well. Yeah, I keep forgetting about this immunity. Forgot about nightmares the other day. In your comment, I think, on Green Apple Knight. You have some protection
I
from that.
still think one is getting removed with the father, and then presumably Jamie stays alone.
Well, up to 6, but it's kind of fake power at this point. And this one can just about be defended as well.
Yeah, and then you win the dominance. On the knightsword side.
There was
Oh,
Guile.
interesting. So it was, yeah. So do you now want to take him to shadows, actually? I don't know. Looks like he's getting farther away anyway, but
Yeah, but then
replaying him is very dodgy.
then Jamie gets fathered, right?
Yeah.
I think possibly Alex might consider playing Duharis into the potential Morgulis just to keep stuff alive. Although then it's not Morgulis, that's a disaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's
Well, it's not a total disaster.
maximizes the power gain with this move basically, but 3 on the faction card. I don't think there's King in the North in this one, actually. King in the North would be okay into Morgulis actually, because Weimar doesn't trigger, Aemon doesn't trigger, Hagen's daughter doesn't trigger.
I'm wondering if Werner also forgot about the immunity. But the thing is, if you play Morgulis, you're still free to play the event next round, where presumably the dupe will be gone.
So he takes Knight of Flowers as expected, and actually Zol of the Fat, not Tattersalt, who could have been replayed for his ability re-triggered. I guess replaying Zol of the Fat, I mean, as you said, there is 3 copies of Iron Man will have its due. It's actually doing something for a change. And Bloody Cups go. It's given up on them. So there were 2 Bloody Cups and at least 1 mutiny. Here we go, defense to Harris. That's a problem though, because Clydas also now escapes death and Tattersalt, and this would have been well, actually not
one. I think maybe you want to save Clydas anyway.
Yeah, not as much dead draws for Nice. Actually, there's a lot of not many of the characters are duplicated like that.
Yeah, I think only one Mortimer and maybe only one Tattersalt.
So Jaime is going to stay as expected. And on the other side, it's going to be Aemon, Hagen's daughter, and well, actually, yeah, Balerion and the Raven. You couldn't make it work with Clydas because then Balerion goes, he would have survived naturally as well. Though the Raven is not very impactful, so Aemon saving Clydas would have done a lot. But then look at how much gold Tyrell is collecting anyway. It's just 9, right? 9 in any kind of bounties. I mean,
here come Green Apple Knights.
not that much achieved actually. If there's another Clydas, he will take this gold. You would expect to have more stuff in play as Tyrell with Duharis against Morgulis and this kind of icon. But let's see what actually comes into play. Then Mutiny can trigger this round, but next round if there's another tourney potentially, then they're still once again free.
Wait, why can't you trigger this turn?
Sorry?
Why can't Mutiny trigger this turn?
It can this turn.
Oh, it can, okay.
Alex has 3 plots left, by the way, so he's on 4 power. And if he has to Murgulis himself after turn, that's also not going to be pleasant. I mean,
Okay, so
he
he's not
has
gonna do
to.
though. Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, he has to Murgulis himself if he can't win, and then the other Murgulis will get recycled. So we could have in the next 4 rounds 2 Murgulises. So it's very important actually that Alex finds a way to close. Spam the knights a little bit now. Let's see if it works. So presumably there is guile for Boros to escape the board.
Mark will also replace himself.
And the green apple knight is non-kneeling, so by the way, nighttime marauders so revealed bounty and 2 hands judgments
He
and the
chose
hound.
bounty. He chose bounty. There was just hand judgments
Oh,
and the
okay.
hound in hand, which is not good, I suppose.
Yeah, okay, so but for sure mutiny will be cancelled anyway. I mean, 2 hands judgments, can't get around that. And the hound is the last one. Jamie's still there with his ability, so green apple knights get renown when they attack alone. Puts 2 into the intrigue though, because one's Mark's trigger. Finds the arbor. Do you dupe it? You do, why not?
Sure. Although now we know there's no night flyer there because he had what Hagen's daughter now in shadows.
Yes, I think so. No power still on the faction card. Okay, up to 8. And no claim on the other side. And no gold for those bloody cups left. That were discarded anyway. But now actually there was maybe half a chance to try something. Although 2 military icons against green apple knight. Does it defend? It doesn't bother. Wants to take dominance instead. Get to 9-1.
Yeah, and I think it's alright for him that Night's Watch has power on the faction card anyway.
Yes. Doesn't bother with mutiny. Makes sense because you do lose your character and then it gets cancelled anyway, right? And your character in this case would be Aemon. Okay, so I think turn is now coming. Yeah, the fact that they can win alone like that, so that they have renown anyway, even if it's not turny, that's pretty good. Okay, March. It's going to take 1. Maybe it takes the power icon here.
Well, Hound is a power icon, but he doesn't get renown actually from tourney.
And the fact that Werner goes first, I mean, he could have what's the guy, Joren, taking that green apple knight with 2 power on it, and that swings it quite a bit. Oh, that's all he would do this round, I think, then. Does he have cold hands? I'm sure he does. Well, Joren. Does he take Jamie? Or does he take green apple knight? Now Alex probably needs to calculate the rest of this round. Yeah. It was looking over when tourney was revealed with 9 power. Now it's looking less over, but green apple knight switches sides, not Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, Hound can discard him and take him to hand back and replay him then. Yeah. But he. So it's not as good. But if you have. You have Boros for sure, and he brings in another knight, so you have 4. That's 4 renown, and Green Apple Knight gets 2. Brings you to 11, and power claims 12.
It's not bad. The problem is he needs to also then, let's assume it's not 15, he needs to close before he Morgulises himself, and that's more dodgy. I don't know where the power gain is coming next round. I guess with Jamie's ability it could still
But
happen.
Jamie's alright, right?
Yeah.
And does Jamie's ability, sorry, yeah, there's no renown for the Hound anyway.
Okay, so nothing. That's the probably the right thing to do from Werner here, because just spending characters gives it more chance that it goes from 6 to 15. Now we'll have to see what Boros does. The thing is, Boros' character goes away, of course. It doesn't stay in play.
Yeah, I mean, but now there's no Guile. Oh, I mean, yeah, the guy that's gonna come in.
Get one of those Mandon Moors goes back, gets discarded, right? Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, here you don't have the Lannister event.
And the best card in hand now would be another one of those High Tower Knights that comes in for Hedge Knight and stays in play. Okay, that was the easy part. The unopposed power. You have 4 knights. That would be 13 on military, and you have one that's not kneeling. Is it enough? It could be. Depends if he can win dominance. Actually, the 1 power is also going away from Hedge Knight. I think he'll be a bit short, but very close to winning.
You can get to 12, then 13 with the Green Apple Knight. Yeah. Win the military if you have the blade now in hand. A water dancer sword even.
That's interesting. That was then probably an unnecessary risk here from Alex. Would cost him 2 power on characters that survive. "25 minutes left, so if suddenly there's no board, then the game's still alive." So does he have dominance? No. Not now. Alex takes dominance as well, which means 13-0. Well, just get 2 challenges with knights attacking alone. That would do it. There is printed renown in the deck, of course, as well, but not that much compared to being able to win with Turnis. So he is playing the plot that is not Morgulis. I forget what it is. Political, is it? Yeah. Into siege preparations. And then what does Werner have for the last one? Do we know?
Yeah, I assume political disaster as
Yeah,
well.
he has his own, yeah. Which will do nothing because both of these will stay duped there. So no, do we have cold hands to get rid of some of that power?
Yeah, or even recruiter could take Boros, right?
Yeah, but taking Boros is it does something. Would rather take
Yeah,
Jamie's ability or Green Apple Knight.
he's a very key character, I suppose, but the econ is not great. There's Goodlands.
So Joren followed by Cold Hands to give himself a chance. So when Cold Hands dies, next round, if he dies, then Jamie will come in. With Joren actually, and be taken. Oof, that's quite a hit. So if there is a next round, Morgulis takes Cold Hands away, and then Werner ends up with Joren and Jamie in play.
Actually, right now you're okay, just passing and defending everything, I suppose.
Well then, slightly surprising that Alex has even played anything. He's played a Hedge Knight and Mark. Mark can escape, but Hedge Knight cannot. So if he cannot close, then maybe. But he is on 4 cards and reserve is 4 as well. Okay, so he can get at least one unopposed. Oh, Hagen's daughter comes back to defend. Okay. Yeah, he can't get anything.
And it would be good to at least win one. I think with assuming there's no unexpected guile in shadows, right?
Yeah, almost certain.
Because this now with Green Apple Knight, just gonna win, but I assume Hagen's daughter defends and dies again.
Look at this board. So Cold Hands cannot be saved. Hagen's daughter is still there available, and then Aemon saves himself, Belerion doesn't die, and Joren comes back and takes Jamie. It's a great anti-Morgulis situation. Problem is there's 20 minutes left, and it's going to be whatever it is, 11 and something else, 12, 13 nil before we get there.
Yeah, and problem is the power icons are gonna be so low now.
Mm-hmm. Power that's going to force Cold Hands to pose, surely.
Sorry about that.
By the way, we know that there's at least 2 non-characters there because there's still Hands Judgments that haven't been played, that were revealed earlier. Any good reason why not just... Okay, he's thinking. Can he do something? Defense with 3, I think that was the only thing he could do. Doesn't apply claim, okay. And now I think you need to go with Boros into this one to... Yeah, get him back. Yeah, there we go. Still not bad because he's getting Boros back and he's getting Turnis back after next round. Okay, and I suppose Mark Mutiny goes. That would have been cancelled, probably. Now probably one of the Hands Judgment will go for reserve unless there's more mutinies drawn. No. Not worth it anyway because it's Morgulis' last plot, so... Well, it's going to be a beautiful board for Nightwatch finally getting ahead a little bit. But it's still, power on the faction card is still 9-0. And now, yeah, the pressure
Not
to...
brilliant, right?
The pressure to close it is kind of gone for Alex. He can play defensively, just opposing everything, and it's not going to swing that much. That's the thing.
Yeah, but Jamie is gonna be gaining some renown as well.
He could,
if
although
he attacks alone.
Jamie and Joran cannot survive. Yeah, I guess you don't. Yeah, if you lose Joran, you lose Jamie, so they don't survive the Harris together.
Mhm.
And you have to choose neither if you want to survive the Harris.
To cancel meager contributions with. We would rather keep the events. The hand judgment. Or are they all gone? There's one in the discard pile. But one should be in hand still.
One should be in hand, yeah. Well, Boros is very cheap, but might want to save him for later actually. Could put him in shadows so that he doesn't get discarded. Then try the Harris next round or even Turney. I'm thinking the Harris.
Yeah, Boris is in shadow now, and you can do also in shadows Guile, but you have to be now also able to defend Mark. He doesn't just die.
Okay, so Boros is the card in shadows and Guile is in hand at this point, yeah.
Mhm.
Power icons.
That's fairly alright. He really should use the underground vault. Why? Sure, he's not using. Surely not.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to cost him or not. I mean, he has all the icons here and all the gold he needs basically. But yeah, I mean, sometimes he's losing dominance by a little bit, and I don't know. Sometimes the reason in Nightwatch not to use underground vaults is if you have Halder and want his ability, or if you have Forest Patrol, but neither is true in this deck. Okay, and actually Boros does come out. He's going to try to defend this power challenge. I don't think that's going to happen. Or will
Well,
it?
there should be one in the deck still.
Misty
Or
Morn.
in the event. Interesting.
Well. Well, that's a great card to have, honestly. I didn't consider this is in the deck. Brings back
Yeah.
Hightower Knight and Green Apple Knight. Hightower Knight can just come in now. They can defend and they can stand from this. I mean, that's amazing.
Jamie can stand the end. Now the Eric ability is. I mean, Eric is wasted, right? Okay.
Well, I mean, you can do two more challenges. One of them has to go through.
Necessarily, maybe you don't want Mark to replace himself.
And Guile goes. That was a good card. By the
That
way,
was a good.
Knight of Flowers will go as well.
Yes.
Do you dare do military into them?
Doesn't seem like a good reason to do it. Okay.
Maybe he has the sword this time, hoping that Alex defends with a single character. No, why
Yeah,
would
but
he?
why would he if Mark's ability triggers as well?
Man, don't. It's as good as anything. If he plans to do Harris, they still all three survive.
Yeah, and the dominance would be tight if you had 2 gold from Underground Vault, so.
One Raven goes, will the other trigger? It didn't.
Well, presumably not if you're above reserve, right?
And now what? Do we tourney and try to win again that way, or do we do Harris? I mean, there's still now Morgulis on the other side available. There's March to the Wall available.
Mark back, and you have now Green Apple Knight in hand.
No Harris into the
I was
father.
just gonna say that maybe you just try with Tourney again, but apparently not.
Yeah, there's a lot of board on the other side, and we could at some point get a recruiter for the watch. Now has a target. Okay, now it's tricky, so can't keep Jamie or Joren, which means you keep all the rest, right? Except for Eric.
Yeah.
That's the trouble with Joren. If there is the Harris, usually cannot survive with the character he takes unless the character is not that impactful. Now he needs the gold and is going to trigger it.
Yeah, but I don't know, it's 10-1 and 12 minutes to go. There's what? 2 rounds, right? Seems kinda unlikely for a Night's Watch Kraken to get. Night's Watch Kraken has really slow power gain, right? Because it's not like
I
a full
mean,
defense type deck that can get, you know, 2 power for the wall and then 2 for Benjamin and something like that.
no, it wins against empty boards where it's just. I mean, you
Yeah,
can get quickly to 15 in 2 rounds if you play against literally an empty board. That's what needs to happen because the power icons are scarce and weak.
yeah. The problem against the empty board is if you do that, then it's Morgulis presumably, and you have 0 claim and also not good money to replay stuff.
So to answer the
Yeah.
question in the chat, if Boros did happen or Mark did happen to find a dupe for Knight of Flowers, yeah, you could use it to save him from being discarded at the end of the phase. Okay, so Turney would have won with this kind of board. Let's see if the Harris does as well.
Currently none of them have renown, so I don't think he can just close.
He's left the power unopposed. 2 Bloody Cups in the deck, they're both gone, so that's some safety having discarded them both.
Yeah, and you
Just
can do
leaves it.
power back and it's all the same, right?
Well,
Although
9 power. There will be power claiming dominance this round, presumably, and then the only additional power gain would be if Mark brings in a renowned body somehow. Pagan's Daughter escapes again. It's a power icon from Shadows as well. Gold is available. Actually, if he has the Water Dancer sword, it's even enough to just win on defense.
yeah, even with no, not without. Sorry.
Haha.
And that was a bit of
But there is
a
the
bit.
Knight of Flowers. Well, well, well. and hits Mutiny. Mutiny could have been played on that duped Boros and then you try your luck. Although still we have hand judgment for that, right? So held it in hand.
Come in now.
So, what happened with the Knight of Flowers doesn't put him into play.
Why not?
Wants to draw him, I guess.
So, but
Father returns Boros, okay, so that was still a thing, of course.
so is there another Murgulis coming? Suppose that now he's gonna draw out the flowers, so yeah. But honestly, even for Murgulis, it seems like it's a really bad one because 0 claim and you're gonna have an alt character and
Yeah,
the cat.
trying his luck and it's into late Summer Fist, and now that's what we were saying, right? 7 minutes left. He's intentionally kept that Knight of Flowers on top to draw him, and now it's a power icon. And you can just oppose stuff, and it's not going to be a 7 power swing at any point in the last 7 minutes unless Tyrell is down to no characters at all. None of these are Yorenable, and okay, they are marchable, but 2 renowned bodies. No trigger from shadows. Well, they're not game winning just by themselves. And cards given away for the plot. Now is Meister Raymond finally going to die, or is it going to be the Raven? Up to 13. Yeah, those Bloody Cups had several chances to be played after they were discarded for reserve. And okay, Hagen's Daughter doesn't actually do stuff, it just wins dominance, makes sense. So now what, March? For sure, right?
Also, yeah.
Into Time of Plenty also makes sense. Boros is dead finally. Could have decided not to save him actually from the father. I think that's what you should do. He's great from coming
There is
back into play.
Marjorie. I thought you said there's no queen.
No, just wondering if there was. There is.
Yeah.
Now, do we have anything to mess with this? Any kind of Yoren coming back?
I think there are 2 copies of Yoren, but is he not there? Oh no, he went for the Harris, okay. Meister Muir is not the worst thing.
Can still win power though. Then save Knight of Flowers for military, for instance. Not sure what's in shadows, if it can come into play theoretically.
Well, honestly, if you didn't march with Robin and you marched the old bear's raven instead, you could win with the sword, I think, just about, against these two. I don't know, because Marjorie's ability is gonna get the boost as well.
Well, game's over anyway because it's 3 minutes left. It's too
sure,
much difference. Although Nightwatch has tried bet. If it was not a limited, no time limit in the game, and you somehow hold it on 14. But yeah, actually he's spent both Morgulis and marched on the plots being recycled, so running out of really removal at this point. And yeah, it was interesting seeing this slightly different version of the Tyrell White Book deck with Morgulis and with Boros instead of the White Swords.
Yeah, I like Boros.
There was quite a battle for a while whether Boros should win over White Swords on the, as far as the restricted card goes, and basically White Book has prevailed as the dominant deck, and then some people play Banner Lion instead with Boros, but to actually have Boros in White Book is an interesting take. No one plays Bale on Swan, by the way. Although I say no one, I've seen him played, but yeah, he's lost out against the other two.
Yeah, now dominance should be 15.
Or winning on defense with Renown, yeah. There we are. So yeah, big win for Greece in the first one. Remember, Greece can get through if they win against Austria. Theoretically, they can get through if it's a draw and Germany loses, but let's be more realistic, right? Their chances to beat Austria. And yeah, 1-0. Austria has a huge advantage in this matchup because a draw works in their favor. So they only need to get 4 wins. Greece needs to get 5. And this is the first of them.
Well, interesting. It was not a good matchup, probably, for Banner Kraken. Seems like Werner doesn't have a lot of luck with this deck, because I think it's a very strong deck, and
yeah, I mean,
a lot of good matchups, but this one's probably not great with the Arbor, and
it's almost the most unchokeable deck there is, basically. I mean, it's even less chokeable with White Swords probably than it is with Boros, but still, I mean, Tyrell and Arbor and Red Wine Straits in play basically from round 1 or round 2, and then duped as well, so it's a little bit hopeless.
He also didn't get some of his tools at the beginning, he didn't have White Tree, he had these 2 Bloody Caps that he couldn't get, and if he had, instead of, I don't know, Weimar 1 Theon, then he can trigger the Bloody Cap. That's a different game, right? So a little bit more luck you need with this.
Although the power totals were pretty one-sided at the end. So even if some more removal worked, there is still the question of actually winning the game. And Tyrell can really just go into defensive mode once they get their 8-0 advantage or whatever it is. Just do the bare minimum. Try not to lose characters. Just always do unexpected guile and stuff, and then it's really difficult to swing it back. You swing it back if you kill everything or remove everything or steal everything, whatever you do. So
yeah, suppose it's easier with Greyjoy Winter. Even if you don't have the strongest choke, you can still have a board advantage, right?
Yeah,
but not in this one.
So for those that were not with us at the beginning, and actually I forgot to actually show this on screen. So this is the situation again in the song group. Basically, since this is a little bit difficult to read, so you get 5 points for a win and 2 for a draw, 0 for a loss. It's China on 20, Austria on 17, Germany 16, and Greece on 15. Scotland is 12, and they don't have a game this round, so they're out. Basically, what this means is China is through whatever happens, because 2 of their rivals below them play each other, and the rest, so Austria needs a draw to make it through. Germany needs also a draw to make it through at least, and Greece needs to beat Austria. If Greece beats Austria, then Germany with a draw goes through, and if Germany also loses in this scenario, then Germany is out. So at the moment it looks like it's between Austria and Greece realistically, because Germany plays the bottom place Chile. So they should, in
You don't
theory,
believe in Chile?
they should get 4 wins there, right? And if they don't, then obviously they deserve not to make it through. So this is the song situation, and the fire and ice are done at this time. So Catalonia won against France in the extra game. So we have the situation in the quarterfinals that the top team picks their quarterfinal opponent first, and this is either going to be Catalonia or China at this point. Those are the only two theoretical options still available. China to match Catalonia exactly for the tournament score in the entire tournament. I mean, would need to beat Poland 7-1. If they win 8-0, they're ahead of Catalonia. If they win 6-2 or less, they're behind them. So one of those two teams will get the first pick. Then the third and fourth pick is not really a pick. You just whatever you're left with. But the third pick is between France and whoever finishes second in the song group. That's at the moment looking like it might actually be the team from the song group, but several options are still possible. France is on 20 points, so if Austria or Germany win, they're automatically ahead of them. The only way it's France ahead of them is if neither get to 20, which means draw between Austria and Greece, and Germany also can't win. But that's unlikely. So it looks like France will be the loser. But I'm not sure if everyone shares my opinion that there will be one team that's much tougher than the others from that group placed from 5th to 8th that are going to be picked as quarterfinal opponents. I think the third place team in this group, whether it's Germany or Austria or whatever, is the toughie that you don't want. So it looks like it might be that team against France. And then we know that if China makes it as the top team in this group, we know that China and Catalonia cannot meet ahead of the final.
Do you think that we're getting picked first?
Depends who picks, really. I think if Catalonia picks, we might be getting picked first. I don't know. We are maybe slightly more respected among teams that have more players that play online a lot and maybe know us a little bit more. I'm not sure if Catalonia knows us or respects us that much. China possibly, I don't know, but maybe we get a better chance against Austria, Germany or France not to be picked. But yeah, we're not going to we're going to be picked either first or second, maybe third. We're not getting the last one, right?
No, I don't think so.
No, quarters are not going on already. It's next week. So this is round 7 song. The group song has an extra team, so every round they had one sitting out, so they need to catch up, right? They have one more to play, so that everyone plays exactly 6 matches, and the other 2 groups have already played 6 matches. So we are just relaxing in the meantime, going to stream the decisive Austria-Greece games whenever we can, or record at least, and then we'll watch the quarterfinals from next week onwards. I can also show you what has already been. Let's see if we can refresh this. Maybe something else has popped up in the meantime. Yeah. So this is the one we covered. So tomorrow, 7 p.m. This is GMT plus 0, so that's 9 for me and for those in the same time zone, so Central European time. Tomorrow evening, Greece against Austria, their second game. So possibly we might arrange for streaming or recording, and then for sure this when we have games grouped together like this, like we have on Friday evening, we will try to cover them. So it's 2 games at 6 and 7 p.m. GMT plus 0 on Friday, and we'll try to stream those as well, assuming of course it's still interesting, and assuming the other decisive games, so the Germany and the China games, are not super close. If those are close, then we might switch our attention to those. We'll see.
Okay.
So thank you
So do you
everyone
want to say Okay,
Oh,
no.
you have something else? Well, you have something else. I was about to
Do
say
you want to
goodbye.
say who you are rooting for in this matchup?
No, I feel
Okay.
bad for both teams. So
Yeah, both would
basically,
deserve honestly a place.
yeah, I mean
The
Austria
supposed to
was
play
the
for
team that landed in this group as the second seed in our initial draw, right? So they
Mhm.
they got the toughest possible situation among those, and then Greece also landed as the third seed in this group. So I'm convinced that Greece in the other two groups would have been
Yeah.
favorite to get through. I think they would have beaten us, for instance, in our group, or
Mhm.
and Italy, Israel. I don't know. They would have more of a chance there than they do against China, Germany, and Austria. So it's really interesting, and I feel sorry for them. But yeah, lots of players we know and get along with very well in both teams. So I don't have any preference. I just hope it's good games all around.
Oh, okay. Huh?
So let that be it. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you hopefully next time we stream or record.
Okay. Bye bye.